In one of my last videos, I made a ton of chicken soup with 2 fresh chickens, and now I'm left with a bunch of chicken leftovers. So what we're gonna do is make some chicken salad that's quick and easy and bursting with flavor. Now you should know, when you make a chicken salad with a fresh roasted chicken, it's gonna have a ton of flavor already locked in, but this has been boiling in soup for about an hour and a half or 2. So we gotta make sure we add enough flavor, texture, and spices to kick this up a notch. So stick around and I'll show you how. You know, to start, I'd wanna just say that I'm using a cutting board specific for meat, typically raw meat, but with this much chicken, I wanted to keep my wood board a little clean. And while I give this a rough chop, I wanna break down chicken salad a bit and then give you my recipe at the end, putting it all together. And I'll be putting an exact recipe with measurements in the description. Oh, and don't be alarmed, I'm gonna be using my kitchen shears in a bit, which I use just for food. It's definitely one of those kitchen tools that often gets overlooked, but is incredibly useful, like cutting up food. Now that I got that out of the way, back to this chicken. So a lot of chicken salad recipes out there will tell you to take a certain amount of chicken and, for example, add a certain amount of mayo, usually a lot. But I saved all of this from making soup, and how much I save varies each time. And chances are you're making chicken salad from leftover roasted chicken dinner, and how much you have varies as well. So after making batch after batch after batch, I found something that works for me, giving me a solid base no matter how much chicken I got, because I got me a percentage to share with you to make it easy. And like I said before, a lot of these recipes add a ton of mayo, but in a way that I do it, gives you a little more room to adjust it and be more creative later, which you'll see at the end of this video. I added 15% mayo and 10% mustard. And of course, you can use a mix of mustards for different flavors, yellow, Dijon, mustard seed, etc. And if you don't like mustard at all, you can just add more mayo. I know preference is everything, but I found this works for me, and here's why. This gives you just enough creaminess and tanginess to start putting your salad together, and then you can add the various liquid add-ins to punch up certain flavors. Lemon juice for a brighter citrus tang, hot sauce for heat, and everyone's favorite secret ingredient, pickle juice or some kind of brine, because not only does it add a delicious saltiness, it gives the chicken more life. Because let's face it, if you're making chicken salad that's been in the fridge for a day or 2, that will dry it out. Same goes for other add-ins like onion, carrots, celery, nuts, olives, grapes, apples, dried cranberries, hot peppers, roasted peppers, and my personal favorite, pickles. Each having their own unique textures, flavors, and water content. Try balancing out crunch with sweet and spiciness. I like to keep these to 5 to 15% of the weight of the chicken so that no one thing takes over. I want my chicken salad to taste like chicken. Same goes for spices. Here's where you can get creative and add a few spices. I always like to suggest garlic and onion powder to start, but start slow with 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon of any 2 to 4 spices and go from there. If you want to play up a particular flavor profile, you can always add more. Paprika for a splash of smokiness and color, cumin for some earthy tones, garam masala, curry powder, or even ras al hanout for warmth, or go simple with some black pepper, taco seasoning, chili powder, or a pinch of celery salt or sumac. I'll give you some suggestions in the description below for some inspiration. Just don't overdo it. Like I always say, heavy is the hand that can ruin your chicken salad. Same goes for fresh herbs, which is a great way to add some fresh aromatics. Dill, rosemary, thyme, or tarragon are always good options. And of course, salting throughout for taste. Look, let's put it all together. To the 900 grams of chopped chicken, I add 135 grams of mayo and 90 grams of mustard, 60 grams of yellow, and 30 grams Dijon. I've rough chopped 4 to 5 medium kosher dill pickles with a 1/4 cup of pickle juice. Just make sure you have some pickle bath water later if you need to bring a little more life to it. I'm adding 1/4 of a large red onion for a sharp crunch, and you can always add more later. I'm giving this an easy dice here. You can also use shallots too if you've never used shallots before. This is a good reason. And for spices, I'm adding 3 for now, garlic and onion powder and a bit of cumin. And you'll see at the end, I'll customize it a bit more when I'm making my sandwich. And I'm adding a bit of fresh thyme that I got from my garden. Don't forget to salt as you go and to actually taste it to see if something's missing, because I just did, and I'm adding a splash of hot sauce for some heat, a little more pickle juice to bring this together more, and a nice squeeze of lemon juice for that bright acidity. Now, putting it into a sandwich form, I can get even more creative. I'm using 2 pieces of low-calorie bread and plopping on some chicken salad. I add a little more mayo to one side to increase the creaminess, and I'm adding some ras al hanout to the mayo to flavor that a bit. And then I'm adding more crunch by putting on slivered almonds. And now to enjoy. And if you're wondering why I didn't add the almonds or any of this into the chicken salad, well, I have a great base and can customize it how I like it that day. Plus, it gives me more options throughout the week. Just put some in a bowl and add a small amount of apples for something sweet and crisp, or raisins or grapes for some more sweetness, or heck, even add crushed up crackers. I know that sounds insane, but it's buttery, crunchy, and your mouth will love it. Give it a try. What's something that you think I should add to chicken salad? Thanks for watching. Make soup, save the chicken, make salad. I'll see you in the next one.